Movie Mensch.
Yes.
Movie Mensch.
Yes, you're ready to get menchy.
All right, let's mensch out.
All right. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
My goodness, what a delight. And the whole thing is fantastic, but I just love the way it all came together. Like, it felt so organic and so real, and we just don't get that enough.
Oh, thank you. That's a huge compliment.
Congrats to both of you. I got to start with, what surprised you most about her as a director, and what surprised you most about him as a scene partner?
I'll start.
Okay.
I've known Lake for many years, and I adore Lake. And I was very surprised to get on set and find that she just screamed at me constantly, and was like constantly like breaking me down, and just all the.
I would break him down and then say, "Shoot it now."
Yeah. Quite the opposite, obviously. I think you hang out with people and your friends, and then. It's really actually exciting and inspiring and invigorating to see a friend like just take the reins in a leadership role and kick so much ass. And that was really, I mean, it just was an awesome thing to watch.
Thanks, Ed. I would say, again, he's right. It is an interesting thing to be pals with someone and then get into a work environment. I am genuinely a huge fan of Ed's as an actor and performer in general. He's multi-talented. You have something which I admire very much, where if we're talking and you're thinking about something, you don't answer right away. So if I ask you a question, you sort of take a pause and then answer it, and that shows such patience and like thoughtfulness. And I have now since like tried to adopt this like Ed thought, and I talked about it with Cordry even. He's like, yeah, he's very thoughtful. And at first I'm like, so I would make a suggestion, and I'd be like, so what if we try it like this, And he would pause. And I'd be like, oh God, he hates it. He hates what I just suggested. And then he'd be like, okay, yeah, I'd like that. And I'm like, great, we're back in.
Can I let you in on a little secret?
Okay.
That's just me being really slow processing information.
No, it's a deep profundity is what that's what I took it as.
He said there's a TikTok.
Yeah.
No, it's funny, Cordry really
What did she say? Yeah.
Yeah, he thought.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I was curious, I loved your first film, In a World.
In a World.
And that's clearly such an LA story, and this clearly is a Florida story. I mean, what was the inspiration to kind of change the scenery? What begged Florida for you?
I grew up, it's a fair question, but I grew up in Vero Beach, Florida somewhat. So I went from New York to, wow, so unprofessional. This is not cool.
It's real.
I'm throwing it down. That's how much I care.
Wow.
No, I went from New York to Vero Beach, Florida, and I spent a lot of time there. And I just had in hindsight, a great affection, for the state, for the sort of strange and wonderful kind of cultural hub it is, but it's unexpected, It's the South, but not really. It just has all these amazing attributes. And to boot, I always thought visually it was very interesting. To be this flat space with these skyscapes all the time. It was always just those images of that sky always, inspired me. And so in thinking about setting this story, I thought it would be fun to go back to Vero Beach because I know it very intimately. I love it. And, it is the hub, and I mentioned this in the movie, in the writing of the movie, there's, Prince Charles frequents there to play polo. There's, the Dodgers used to do spring training there. The Kelly Slater surfed at the inlet there, and then in a sort of sad way, there's a flight school there where Al Qaeda learned to fly. Yeah, so that part is not as fun. But the truth is that it was on the map for that one moment in our news history. But
I grew up in Atlanta, and I would take family trips down to the various Florida beaches all the time. And I was really struck how well Florida was captured in the movie when I saw it finally, because We didn't shoot it in Florida.
We didn't. We
Well,
did.
there were second unit
Yes,
stuff,
yeah.
but am I allowed? Did I just
Yeah, no,
ruin
not
everything?
at all. No, we shot it in
Movie
in Long
magic.
Beach.
But it felt Florida. As someone who has a lot of nostalgia for
Yeah.
Florida, it was like, oh, this is it.
Guy Harvey shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. I felt the same thing. Well, both of you, congrats.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.